I guess into November, and at some point it started to get too cold, and so I then had to move into a hotel, and I moved to an executive suites with the boys. Of course, I brought the boys with me, and I mean, just getting them in the RV, especially Ping Pong, was just a major ordeal. He turned into a wild bobcat, and then trying to get him into the hotels is a whole nother thing. He just did not like it at all. I mean, he was scary. He was scaring me, and he was scaring Jerry and Napoleon, and eventually he got used to it, and he would just hang out in the back there, in the back room, like he hangs out in the back room of the apartment, and sitting in this cat tree, and but we lived for like a month or two. We lived for a couple months in here. I had DirecTV and everything, and I had my PlayStation, so I was watching movies and stuff, and I was taking cabs to go see movies in Billings, and I was shopping around for other RVs, because I still had money from what I got paid out for the apartment complex. And then one night I was getting driven back by one of the guys that worked at the tow place back to my RV, and he told me that they sold like used engines. And I was like, why didn't they tell me that? And I had been there for a couple of months. I mean, I had to sleep on the damn floor there this whole time, because I'd taken the bed out, because the bed was hard as shit, but I like fucked up my wrist sleeping on that floor. And I lived in here with the boys through Thanksgiving and Halloween, and and so I ended up buying a used engine from them, which was like another $6,000 something bucks, and then shit, man. Then we lived in hotels for another couple months. We lived in that executive suites. We lived in the Motel 6 in Billings. I brought my fridge from in here into the room at Motel 6. The executive suites, the manager was like a royal bitch. I got in a big argument with her and ended up kind of getting kicked out and leaving. And then at the Motel 6, they were pretty cool. And we spent Christmas there at the Motel 6 in Billings, and this was still December of 2010. And at that point, I realized that I wasn't going to be able to live anywhere in Montana. That small town I was going to move to, it turned out to be really gay. They didn't have any fast food places. They didn't have the one movie theater they had only showed like artsy fartsy kind of movies, and Billings wasn't an option either because I couldn't street park my RV anywhere. They were real strict about that. They didn't have a Chili's anywhere in Montana, which sucked. And Billings was kind of ghetto anyways. I almost did move there, actually. I almost got a place there, but glad I didn't. The place really sucked. And so it really just turned out, and Idaho was another option, but they also were strict about street parking RVs. I was thinking about Sandpoint, Idaho, which is like near the Canadian border and it's supposed to be real nice. Resort town, kind of. So Wyoming turned out to be the best option because they allowed you to street park an RV, and so eventually I left the Motel 6 sometime in late February, headed down to Cheyenne. I first stayed at a Motel 6 in Cheyenne where they were rude as hell. The maids complained that I was walking around without my shirt, and they made me put my cats in boxes while they clean the rooms, and they had to clean the rooms every day, or every other day or something like that. I watched the Super Bowl at that Motel 6 in Cheyenne, and eventually they're just so rude. I just left there, and I went to a Comfort Inn in Cheyenne and they were awesome. They were really cool. They didn't insist on cleaning the room, except maybe once in a while. They didn't mind the cats being around. The room was real nice. It was just really sweet. I lived there for about 3 weeks until I finally was able to move into my apartment. The Odyssey was then over. I had spent 6 months on the road with my boys. We spent about 3 months in the RV and 3 months in hotels. It was like a trip that was only supposed to take a couple weeks, but I could live to be 100 years old, and I'll never forget that trip. It was really an adventure. It was fun. I missed living in here. But I got a cool apartment. Been here since March of 2011, and it's April of 2014, so a little over 3 years. Kind of ready to get a new place. But yeah, so that's kind of the story of the RV. This grand vessel, the couple in California, the old couple, they used to rent out RVs to Hollywood. So some famous people were in here in this vessel, in this hull, this great ship. And so I'm going to start to clean it now. Trying to get it ready for sale. And then I'll probably get a van. If I could keep it, I would. Because I'd like to have it just in case I end up having to live in... it's just so I don't have to live on the streets just in case. You know, I never know with my dad. He's pretty kooky. So, yep. Over and out.